like to welcome all of you to the dedication of the Corey Abrams Beachmont Community Garden. It's a pleasure to have everybody here. The project's been ongoing for about a year and a half now. And I'd like to first just start off with a huge thank you to Councillor Joanne McKenna. Without her, none of this would have happened, so credit is right here. And with that, I'd like to also recognize all the elected officials that have joined us here today. We have State Representative Jessica Giannino, State Representative Jeffrey Turco, State Representative Adrian Madaro, City Councilor at Large Tony Zambuto, City Councilor at Large Jessica Giannino, double duty. City Councilor at Large Jerry Visconti, Ward 1 Councilor Joanne McKenna, Ward 2 Councilor Ira Novoselsky, Ward 3 Councilor Arthur Ganasso, Ward 4 Councilor Patrick Keefe, School Committee Member Carol Ty. I'd like to also welcome the Abrams family, the community gardeners and the neighbors here in Beachmont, Viviana Catalino from MGH Revere Cares, Dimple Rana from Healthy Community Initiatives, the brains behind all the community gardens in the city, and the Beachmont Improvement Committee for everything they do for Beachmont and for putting on all the catering that's here today for all of you to enjoy and for all the hard work they do in Beachmont. Just a few words about community gardens. So as a project planner for the city, I just started doing a first community garden at Gibson Garden, and it to me was completely astounding how the community comes together for community gardens in full support, unwavering support really. And the mesmerizing element to me of watching the community garden start is that the gardeners create these bonds that are really just incredible. They share stories about gardenings, and now as we have started this being the third garden in the city, we have lessons learned, and we have also some camaraderie between the different gardens throughout the city with shared stories. So the gardeners are growing together, and I just feel lucky to just be a tiny little piece of creating a space for people to come together. And like all projects, it takes a village, and we had so many people involved in this from day one to the finish to what you see now, to all the gardeners that come here every day and do their watering of the gardens and have everything in bloom. So with that, I'd like to just turn it over to Councilor McKenna. There's a whole long list of thank yous, which I'm not going to touch upon because we would be doing it 2 or 3 times. I'd like to bring up Tony Zambuto first.
It's an honor to be here today. I'm here for, as we all are, we all loved Corey Abrams. He was a wonderful person, but I'm also here as council president tonight. And it's fitting because Corey served on our council for a short time when another time I was council president in 2010. So he's a special person. He was a special person to all of us. Those of us that knew him, he had an infectious laugh, but he had more than that. He had a heart of gold. He would do anything for anybody. I loved him dearly, and I am truly honored to be here for his community garden. And with that, I'll turn it over to our ward councilor, Joanne McKenna.
Yeah.
I also want to recognize that we also have a lot of candidates for election here with us today and appreciate them being here. We have candidate for State Senate, Anthony D'Ambrosio. Candidate for Ward 3, Al Terminello. Candidate for at-large councilor, Mark Silvestri. And candidate for at-large councilor, Dan Rizzo. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here at this wonderful event. Starting off as a counselor 6 years ago, one of my first duties was to try to resolve a feud over this empty parcel of land that the neighbors were fighting over. Time and time again, I would get complaints about the misuse of this lot. I was at my wit's end, unsure of what to do. Having a conversation with Kathleen Heiser, Elle Baker, and Cheryl Delaney, it was suggested that it would be a great spot for a community garden, that it would bring people together. For 3 years, we tried to make this happen, but due to the lack of funds, it didn't come to fruition. But then, a community trust fund was established, and thanks to Mira Rigo and the City Council for approving my motions, we appropriated $25,000 for the fund and approved the naming of this garden. I then approached, thank you. I then approached Elle Baker, who took it and ran, getting all the players together to make the garden what it is today. Thank you, Elle, for your hard work and your endless commitment from start to finish. The beauty of this garden would not be possible without the creativity and talents of Michael and Jimmy Mercurio. A special thank you to Jimmy for putting your landscaping skills and your tender loving care to work. I'm just going to pause every time I say something. Thank you. Thank you to the DPW for what you have done, especially building the raised boxes. Thank you to the Marchese brothers for pouring the concrete platforms down that you're standing on. Thank you to the Water and Sewer Department for connecting the water and putting the irrigation system in. Thank you to Viviana Catano Marano, who has been overseeing this garden daily and deals with any problems that comes her way. Thank you to Dimple Rana and Revere on the Moves. And thank you to Tommy Feely for his grilling skills. But finally, it's a huge thank you to go out, that goes to a man who is not here tonight because he had an emergency, that has helped me on many occasions. His generous donation of this beautiful fence that surrounds this property has made this the model garden in the city of Revere. From housing victims to his constant overall support, Matthew Philbin has been a silent but major asset to the city of Revere. In appreciation of his generosity, the City Council would like to present Matt with a citation. Accepting the citation for Matt is his VP of Operations, Elena Vega. In acknowledgement and recognition of his invaluable and charitable contributions to the City of Revere, special recognition is hereby accorded to Matthew Philbin. Matthew continually offers a helping hand to the community whenever called upon through his humble generosity. Most recently, he donated both labor and materials for a fence at the new Corey Abrams Community Garden on Broad Sound Ave. Additionally, Matthew is always quick to offer accommodations to fire victims who have lost their homes by providing temporary housing at his hotel, the Roadway Inn. This certification of accommodation is presented by the City Council of the City of Revere, Massachusetts, on behalf of its citizens this 20th day of September in the year of our Lord, 2021, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 245th, signed by Ashley Melnick, City Clerk, and authored by Joanne McKenna, Ward 1 Councilor. Corey was a kid who grew up in and around Broad Sound Ave. In his older years, he took care of people who lived here. I always knew how good and generous he was, but after his passing, I heard countless stories from different people who got his help with groceries. He would plow their streets, and around the holidays, he would donate Christmas trees to the families that couldn't afford them and decorated doors with wreaths. He never bragged or took credit for anything he did. He just did it. Corey was my friend. He was everyone's friend. With his infectious laugh, wit, and his huge heart, you always wanted to be around him. I miss you, Corey, every day. So many of us do. So today is your day, and we are here to honor you, the man that you were. We now would like to give back by dedicating this beautiful garden. Let it be known from now by all as the Corey Abrams Community Garden in Beachmont, a garden that will remain here for years to come. God bless you all. In closing, State Rep Jeff Turco would like to say a few words. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you, Joanne, for your wonderful words here tonight. Thank everyone for coming. What an impressive turnout. The last couple of years have been very difficult for the country, for our Commonwealth, for our city with COVID, and keeping people apart, keeping people wearing masks, and you don't always realize how much the social bonds of people matter. And when I think of Corey and I think of this garden and the fact that it'll be here in perpetuity, thank you for your leadership in helping to make it happen, and Elle and so many other people. I want to thank the mayor and the council for making this happen, because it's so important. The garden represents an opportunity for people to come together and to be sociable and to build something. And I just think that's so important. And there's a poem that I'm fond of that Tip O'Neill used to quote from Charles Hanson Town, and at the risk of screwing it up in front of a large group of people, I'd like to share it with you, because I think it says a lot about this. But it says, "Around the corner I have a friend, in this great city that has no end. Yet days go by and weeks rush on, and before I know it, a year is gone. And I never see my old friend's face, for life is a swift and terrible race. He knows I like him just as well as in the days when I rang his bell and he rang mine. We were younger then. Now we are busy, tired men. Tired of playing a foolish game, tired of trying to make a name. Tomorrow, I say, I will call on Jim just to show that I am thinking of him. But tomorrow comes and tomorrow goes, and the distance between us grows and grows. Around the corner, yet miles away, is a telegram, sir. Jim died today." And that's what we get and deserve in the end. Around the corner, a vanished friend. Let's do our part to make sure we don't have vanished friends. Let's do our part, despite COVID, to come together at events like this and tell your friends and your family and your neighbors that you love them. It's so important in this day and age. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to recognize Corey.